What's happening, Hardscapers? Today we're starting our wall. Let's get into this. Well, yesterday we excavated this trench for the wall, so I used my U-level to actually measure down from the coping down to grade because we need 6 inches embedded for the retaining wall, and then we need the 8-inch base minimum. So we need minimum of 14 inches from the coping down to the base of this trench to start building up our base 8 inches, and then our embedded wall 6 inches to then meet the grade of the coping. There will be a slight slope, 1/8 of an inch per foot coming towards the wall. We're going to capture that water. We're going to be using an open graded base, so we'll have a pipe in here to capture it, take it out to a French drain, which will take it out to the gate area there into the swale. So that's the game plan for this. We're just going to amend this with some 3/4 inch clear, pack it into the soil. It is actually a really somewhat nice sandy clay soil, so this will drain fairly well, which is nice to have as opposed to a very dense clay, which we're usually working with. So we're gonna go ahead, we've got this at a good slope from there to here with the subsoil. We're gonna compact this into the subsoil, then wrap our non-woven geotextile into the trench here. So let's show you what we're doing here. We're going to put our U-level on the actual coping units because that is top of grade. So we will zero that out. And then at the bottom of our trench, we should be at least 14 inches. And we're pretty good there. We'll have about a 9-inch base with that. So with that being 15, I know we're 18 down there to give us a nice slope towards that area with our subsoil. Very slight slope. We don't want to make that too drastic because the wall should essentially be a level trench. But this is for drainage and then for our French drain out. So this is what we do. I piled it here pretty high to be raked out later because I only had one piece of fabric. I had to go get more. But we use a non-woven geotextile for retaining walls. Wrapping down and then straight across through the trench and then up the back and then back over the drainage area to put soil on top for plants and such. The reason why we do that is we need drainage. We don't necessarily need stability. If we need stability in the base, we'll use a woven geotextile, but always up the side. If you are gonna do a fabric up the side, it's non-woven because any water that's coming through here, you want to be able to have it drain through and then into your drainage area, as opposed to putting pressure on the wall if it's a woven fabric that impedes the passage of water. There's also an argument to not put non-woven at the back. I prefer to do because I don't like to have mixing of my subsoils with my drainage stones. So I always go up the back and then over top to then finalize that. No matter what, you need something on top to be able to not allow any soil to mix its way, let gravity do its work through and then mix through that. There's the argument that that won't happen through here, but I still prefer it up the back. Well, that was a pain. It seems like every time I put one of these up, the wind starts to really come, push everything forward. Right now, when I don't need it, there's no wind at all. That was a pain. You can see we got our 12-inch overlap from piece to piece. We got some weight on it to get the wrinkles out as best as possible. Once again, we got the overlap going here, and when we will save this section for last because we do need to drill our pergola posts down. So that's going to be our final step for this part, but we can at least get our base in for that part and get moving on this. Okay, there we are with all of our gravel. And we'll spread this around, get our base right, and move on from there. We actually went ahead and screeded this area. I'm gonna walk through what I did with this and how I went about leveling this out. What I did here was I set a 0 point on our coping because that's essentially going to be patio grade with an 1/8 of an inch per foot slope towards the wall where we'll collect the water and exfiltrate it out of here. So with that 0 point, I know that the top of my base, which I'm going to have to blow off these leaves, is going to be 6 inches below top of paver or top of coping, whatever that looks like there. So 6 inches below plus that 1/8 of an inch per foot slope. So here I went with 7 inches. I know that my screed bars need to be set 7 inches below our 0 point. So -7, and I checked that with all of my screed bars. And with that checked, I can then go ahead and screed. So I'm checking front to back, left to right, and then I'm double checking with my level. It is much easier with my rotary laser to do this, but I had only my U level with me today, so I just went ahead and did that. It is not laid out yet. We're still deciding right here what we're going to do. So are we going to, because we're hitting some pretty big roots here from this tree, so are we going to build a retaining wall to retain this, or are we going to take out those roots? What are we going to do? So that's essentially what we're waiting for with that. But I figured I'd get this screeded out. I had a little bit of time at the end of the day to be able to do this. That's the end of week 1. I'm recording this before I actually finish the day, so you'll see that we've done a little bit more in the back here with the wall trench. But essentially we got the pool coping all cut in. We got a lot cleared out in terms of pavers around. We got the back area cleared out, the base in for the wall. But there's been a lot of delays with this. The IQ saw on the first day knocked out half a day of production for us. In addition to that, we also had this problem right here with the electrical that I had to cut out this section. That didn't add too much time, but everything kind of adds up in terms of all of these delays. The rain in the side of the house, I'm gonna put plywood down now because it's just a mess. So all of these little things start to add up in terms of the delays it puts on a project and where we are in production. So that's to be expected with any project. Every project has its own difficulties and delays that go along with it. This is just what we're experiencing right now on this project. If you enjoyed this episode, please give this a like. That goes a really long way for us and this platform and this YouTube channel. Comment below any questions that you may have, anything that you would do differently, anything that you want to add there where you're tuning in from. I really appreciate the engagement, and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more hardscaping content like this. Thank you so much for watching.